welcome back to my YouTube channel. So shall we? Today we are covering Form 4 Chapter 1 Function. Okay, so I just cover 1.1 function. It should be a two-part video based on my estimations. So let's get started. So first guys, what's the meaning of function? Function actually means relation. So relation means relationship, right? So relationship usually have two parties, okay? And for you to understand it better, so let me try to draw it out for you. So usually they like to present relation using arrow diagram. So that is the most common one that you always see in the exam. Let me draw for you. So let's say arrow diagram like that. Let's say I give you one example, okay? So 1 becoming 2, 2 becoming 3, 3 becoming 4. Can you make a guess and tell me what is their relation? So isn't it 1 become 2, 2 become 3, 3 become 4? Quite obvious their relation should be plus minus times divide, okay? So isn't it should be plus 1. 1 plus 1, 2 makes sense. 2 plus 1, 3 makes sense. 3 plus 1, 4 makes sense. Oh, now I know their relation is actually plus 1. So you know their relation is plus 1, that means their function is plus 1. But when we write function, we cannot just write plus 1. We must write an equation. So how do they write the equation? So usually they will write in this way. They will say fx will be x plus 1. So this is actually usually this is how they write. So maybe you will ask me then, teacher, how I know is fx equals to x plus 1? So now I need to further explain for you where when you draw an arrow diagram, right? The one I draw with arrow, have a diagram, so we call it arrow diagram. So with the arrow, right, the starting of it, we always call it object. The ending of it, we always call it image. Okay, and usually we will call the object x. The starting, we always call it x, okay? And the image, usually we will call it fx. Obviously, it not must be fx. It can be gx, hx, got some other alphabet one, but usually they will call it fx. So not to confuse you, I will just write fx, okay? So do you realize if in this way, that means my object here will call it x, and my image here will call it fx, correct? And so do you realize the object is x? So the object is x, then they cross the bridge. I always call that a bridge, okay? But it's actually a function. So they call they cross the bridge, and the bridge, let's say I call it f. So do you realize the object is x, the bridge called f, and combined together? That's why the image called fx. Give you again, so do you realize the object is x, you cross the bridge called f, and combination of both only guys will get the image. So that's why the image, we call it fx. Can you see that? So that's the reason when you write this equation out. So do you realize that my object is x, okay? And they cross the bridge called f, and the bridge equation is plus 1. So isn't it at plus 1? So the yellow color one, after I plus 1, the blue one, I should get the image fx, which is also the purple one. So isn't it yellow, blue combined should get the purple? That is exactly how it look like. So maybe you suspect me. Just in case you suspect me, let me give you more let me further explain for you just to prove you, okay? So do you realize, let's say this number. So do you realize this one, my object is 1. So object called what? Object, which is x. Based on what I write up here, isn't it object is x? So that means now I know my x is 1. So since my x is 1, try to sub it in. So you see all the x I sub 1. So when all the x I sub 1, 1 plus 1, do you realize, whoa, I get 2. And that means my image fx should be 2. Is it stated here too? Yes. This is how I prove you that my equation definitely I write correctly, okay? So guys, I'm going to take it off. Don't want to confuse you. So is arrow diagram the only way to present function? No. Arrow diagram is one of the way. The second way, there's another way, okay? There's another way, we call it ordered pairs. So how ordered pairs look like? Ordered pairs, they will write one pair by one pair in a something like the way they write lah, okay, look like coordinate form. Okay, let me give you an example. So do you realize the first pair is this go to this, correct? 1 go to 2. So 1 go to 2, when they write the ordered pair, they will write 1, 2. Isn't it look like, you know, coordinate form. The x is in front, the y is at the back. So now you will put the x in front, which is the object, and the fx at the back, which is the image. So second pair. So do you realize second pair is 2 go to 3? So 2 go to 3, when we write that back, we will write 2, 3. The next one, isn't it 3, 4? And please remember, ordered pair always start with and close with this particular bracket. This is how we write ordered pair. So next one, third one. Third one, guys, which is actually graph. So graph, I think all of you should be quite familiar with. Graph, which is the x-axis, y-axis, correct? So let me try to draw for you. So let's say this origin, this one called x-axis. There's always x-axis. This one, isn't it always the y-axis, correct? But this question, I don't think I'll write y. Why? Because this question, I don't even teach you y so far, correct? So this question, we're only talking about now for you to draw lah. Isn't it? It's only got object and image. So the object, I always call it x. Then the image, which is the y part, isn't it? We call it fx instead of y. Okay, you see? Object, image. Okay, because now function is relation between object and image, two parties. So you try to draw object and image. So one is x, one is fx. Okay. So do you realize? Now try to draw it out, right? So do you realize now your x got 1, 2, 3? So 1, 2, 3. Now I put it inside here. 1, 2, 3. How about my image? So do you realize my image is 2, 3, 4? So 2, 3, 4, isn't it here? Let's say I put 2, 3, 4. So how do you draw it out? So 1, we will link to 2. So if 1 link to 2, so isn't it, that means 1 go to 2 here, that's 1 point. See, my x is 1, my y is 2, my object is 1, my image is 2. Next one, do you realize 2 link to 3? So 2 linked to 3, that means my x is 2, my y is 3, isn't it? This is the next one. Next one, okay? Isn't it? The object is 3, the image is 4. So isn't it 3 to 4, another point? Don't try to connect them together, just draw the cross, guys, because there's only 3 pairs. So isn't it, that is how it looks like. So this is the 3 ways for us to present function. So guys, let me revise again what I teach you so far, okay? So whenever you see the word function, it means relation. Relation is always talking about two parties. The starting of it, we call it object. The ending of it, we call it image. Object, we call it x. Image, we normally call it fx. So there's 3 ways for you to present. First one called ordered pair. Ordered pair, starting is always object. Ending is always image. Next one, ordered pairs. How ordered pairs look like? Starting is always object. Ending is always image. How about graph? Graph. X-axis is always the object. Y-axis is always the image. Okay, let's look at these particular questions. So the first question here, so fx equals to 3x plus 2. So usually this is how they write for you in the exam, but you can write out for you to, easier for you to do it. So dot dot, you can write bracket, arrow, you can write equal. So this is usually how we write out the equation, and let's get started. A, find the image of 0. So guys, whenever they ask for image, the one they provide will be object. Why? Because based on what I taught you just now, I only teach you 2 things, object, image. So when they ask object, they will definitely give you image. When they ask image, they should give you object. If not, like, how are you going to find it out, correct? So they will always give you one of the party and ask for another party. So now they ask for image and they give you object. So how do you guys do it? So I hope you guys still remember. Just in case you don't, I write again. Image, object. Object, we always call it x. Image, we always call it fx. Isn't it? That is what I wrote just now. So for now, they say find the image. So based on up here, I know image is fx. That means these questions want to find fx. And the 0 is object. Based on the top here, object, we call it x. So isn't it, I know that, oh, now the x is 0. So these questions, I have the starting, I want to find the ending. How do I find it? You guys should know that based on the arrow diagram, starting and ending, most important is the bridge. Isn't it? The bridge is the relation. Isn't it relation, which is actually the function? So do this question give me the function equation? Yes, up here in blue color. Isn't it? They say fx, you know the bridge is fx equals to 3x plus 2. That is actually a relation between the two parties. So now you guys know the x will be 0. So isn't it, you guys can sub 0 inside all the x column, so that you can find out the image. 0 times 3, 0. 0 plus 2, 2. I got it. That means my image will be 2. to let you understand it better, I draw for you. It means that if my starting is 0, after cross the bridge, the image come out will be a 2. No need to draw this, okay? I just try to let you understand if I try to draw it out, okay? Let's look at B. Same thing. B, they say, find the object. So I repeat again, if they ask object, they should provide you image. Correct? They ask object, they will give you image. They ask image, they will give you object. So now I know they're going to find object. Object is what? Based on the top there, isn't it object called X? Correct? Image is 6, isn't it? Based on the top part here, image isn't it called fx? So now the situations terbalik, isn't it? Just now I have the object, I want to find the image, and now isn't it I have the image, I want to find the object. But no matter they ask for the starting, give you the ending, or ask for the ending, give you the starting, the most important one is the bridge. So isn't it the bridge, which is actually the relation. So the relation now they provided up here, isn't it? Fx equals to 3x plus 2. Correct? So same way, you guys gonna do it by using substitution. So now you guys know the fx will be 6. This time it's not the x becomes 6, it's the whole fx. So the whole fx isn't it become 6. So don't write f6 anymore. That whole fx becomes 6, isn't it equals to 3x plus 2. Don't tell me, teacher, why the x you never change it? Because my x is a question mark. I don't even know what's my x. So I just write x there. So continue, move and get the answer. Plus 2 move there, minus 2. 6 minus 2 isn't it 4. Times 3 move there, divide by 3. I guess getting, oh, my x answer is actually 4 over 3. So it means that if I try to draw it out, if my image is 6, the object is actually 4 over 3. So that means if my starting is 4 over 3, after cross the relation, the image come out will be 6. Understand? Next one, C. C, they say, find the object. Again, you want to find object. Guys, I repeat, object, isn't it X? Correct? So they say, find the object that will map onto itself. Something different. So guys, what is the meaning of map onto itself? So, map onto itself. Just keep repeating this word 3 times if you don't understand it. Map onto itself. Map onto itself. What is the meaning of map onto itself? Draw for you here. Wrong pen. Draw for you here. So, map onto itself, isn't it that means if I start from 1, if, okay? Isn't it I will end with 1? Makes sense, right? Map onto itself, that means you will map back to the same thing. So, if you start from 1, you should end with 1. What if you start from 2? Then you should end with 2. 3, get 3, 4, map back to 4. Then, what if you start from K? Then you will map back to K. Correct? So whenever they say map onto itself, that means they're asking you what number under these particular questions will map back to itself. So do you know what number is that? You don't know. Then that's the reason they want you to find, correct? So how do you guys find it out? So do you realize under map onto itself, this concept, the starting and the ending is actually equivalent. So starting, we always call it object. Ending, we always call it image. So when they map onto itself, isn't it object equivalent to image? Correct? Because the starting and ending same. And object, based on the top there, object is X. Image is fx. So isn't it again, you guys know that X equals to fx. So with that, I think now again we can do it, because no matter starting, ending, the bridge is the key, and the bridge equation I exactly have it on top. So x is x, equals is equals, isn't it fx is right up here, correct? So I will sub it in, isn't it 3x plus 2. Let me start to move it. Nothing here is 1. So x and x I try to combine, plus 3 move there, minus 3. 1 minus 3 isn't it negative 2x, equivalent to 2. So what is my x answer? Times negative 2, move there, divide by negative 2. Got it? I know I found out that, oh, my x answer should be negative 1. It means that under these questions, only negative 1 will map back to negative 1. All the rest of the number will map to some other number, but only negative 1 will map back to negative 1. Again, if you want to check, you can check, my dear. You guys know that your x now is negative 1. You guys can sub back to the equation. Isn't it? This is your equation. Let me try and see. So isn't it my x is negative 1? So 3 bracket negative 1 plus 2. Negative 3 plus 2. And I really get back negative 1. I just want to prove to you that See, I got it using this particular method. Hopefully you guys understand it. So let's continue to question 2. So this is question 2, yeah? So question 2, this time round, same thing. This is what they provide. Don't always expect it must be fx. It can be gx, hx, any other alphabet. So for this is gx. Let me write nicely for you guys. Equivalent to this. Maybe you will ask me, teacher, what is that 2 line? That 2 line, we call it, so yeah, the 2 line, we call it modulus. What is the purpose of modulus? Modulus is like square, square root, this kind of symbol. So modulus means, listen carefully, yeah? Modulus, it means that a positive number come out from a modulus will be a positive. If it's a negative number come out from the modulus, it will still be a positive. Maybe I say like that, you don't even understand anything I say, but never mind, let me give you some example. So for example, negative 4. Negative 4 come out from modulus 4, because based on what I told you, negative come out will be positive. This is how you make a modulus disappear. So negative 3 come out 3. Negative 2 come out 2. What if 5 left? 5 come out will be 5. Why 5 come out will be 5? Because based on what I told you, positive come out still positive. That means all the number come out from a modulus will be a positive. So continue to give you more examples. 7 come out 7. 8 come out 8. 0 come out 0. Can you say it? So, but then the problem is you cannot always imagine it is a number. What if they are modulus x? Modulus x come out will be what? Majority of you guys will tell me x, but it's actually no. Why no, my dear? Please remember, for you to come out from a modulus, you must be a number. So do you realize all the example I gave you so far is all number, but x is not number. So can x come out from modulus? No. So whenever you see unknown inside a modulus, they will continue stay inside. So they will continue stay inside, cannot come out. Okay, I should show like that, cannot come out. So what if they got number beside the unknown? Can the number come out first? No. As long as got unknown, none of them can come out. Okay. So with that understanding of the equation of modulus, so now we can start. So let's say they say find the image. So I repeat, whenever they find the image, whatever they give you will be the object. So based on now, you guys should know image, we call it fx. Object, we call it x. So isn't it, now we have the starting, we want to find the ending. And you know the most important is the bridge, which is the equation on top, where we call it gx. So all we need to do now is substitute inside. So now I know the x is 2. So isn't it, all the x column, I can sub 2 inside. Correct? Just in case you will wonder, then teacher, why you write fx? I write fx is because based on what you memorize is always fx, but they will change according to the questions. For this question, isn't it, we will call it gx instead of fx. So for now, we call it gx. So 2 minus 2 times 5, 10. 2 minus 10, negative 8. So based on what I just now tell you, negative come out from the modulus will become positive 8. Isn't it just like that? Ta-da! Done. If you understand this, let's continue A2. A2, same thing. Find the image. I repeat, if they want to find the image, whatever they give you is the object. Image, we call it gx. I don't write fx anymore because this question we call it g. So they want to find gx where your object is negative 2. So I know my x is negative 2. I want to find gx. So how do I find it? Same thing, object, image, most important is the bridge. So isn't it, the bridge equation is this one. So all we need to do is substitute inside. So my x will be negative 2. So isn't it, all the x column, I will just sub negative 2 inside. Can you see that? So you can press calculator for the inside part. Negative, negative, positive, 2, 5, 10. 2 plus 10, 12. So can 12 come out from the modulus? Yes. 12 come out will be still 12. Because I repeat, negative number come out positive. Positive number come out still positive. So isn't it, the answer is 12. So next one, B. I think by now you guys should understand, okay? B, they say, find the objects. I repeat, object is what? X. So whenever they define object, they will provide you image. So isn't it they say image is 7, and image we call it what? fx. But for this question, we will call it gx. So same thing round. Now they give you the ending, ask for the starting. How do you guys do it? The bridge is the key. So the bridge equation is gx equals to modulus 2 minus 5x modulus. Correct? Let's again substitute inside. So I know my gx is 7. So the whole gx, yeah, not just x, okay, is 7. Isn't it the rest remain unchanged? So how do I continue to do it? Majority of the students do make mistake here is because they will move the plus 2, move their minus 2. Can you move the 2? No. Because let me refresh your memory again. Just now, based on what I told you, only number can come out from the modulus. Isn't it whenever there's unknown inside, even there's number beside, you cannot let the number go first. So for this situation, do you realize inside the modulus, there's exactly an unknown called x there? So can the 2 move out first? No. None of them can move, my dear. So you cannot move the number nor the x, and yet they cannot come out. Then how do you proceed? You will move the modulus instead. Then how do we move modulus? Modulus, you can move to the other side, and we will write plus minus. Maybe you will ask me, teacher, how you know it's plus minus? Okay, let me explain for this, okay? That is because, look at the inside part. So now, isn't it they say 7 will be modulus of this inside part? So this inside part can be what number? Isn't it this inside can be a 7? Also can be a negative 7. How do I know that? Because 7 come out from the modulus, because it's a positive number come out, isn't it still positive? Then, if it's a negative 7 come out, isn't it also positive 7? Isn't it, it means that inside this circle part, it can be a 7 or a negative 7. Then only I will get 7 at the end. So it? So wrap it off, yeah? Don't want to confuse you. Okay. So that means every single time if you see modulus, when we bring it over to the other side, you just write plus minus, because it means 50% chance it can be a plus, 50% chance it can be a minus. So not to miss any of them, so you will do both. So let's try to do for you. So you write plus minus 7, so you will do the plus or the minus. I repeat, you will do both. So you will split the 2 parts, 1 for plus, 1 for minus. Okay, now all we need to do is just move. So plus 2 move there, minus 2, 5 equals to negative 5x. X answer times negative 5, move there, divide by negative 5. Got it? My first x answer is negative 1. How about another one? Plus 2, move there, minus 2, negative 9 equals to negative 5x. Negative, positive, times 5, move there, divide by 5. You guys x get 9 over 5. Again, done. Maybe you will feel like a bit weird why I get 2 answers. I get 2 answers, it means that if I try to draw for you, yeah? Now I know my image is 7. I get the object negative 1. I also get the object 9 over 5. It means that the object negative 1 and 9 over 5, both, after the relation, will both also get 7. So these 2 objects will link back to same particular one image. So by now, I hope you guys understand. So far, my first video only teach you object is x, image is fx, just like that. So hopefully you understand everything I say. Please like and subscribe, and comment below anything you don't understand or any questions you have. And see you on the part 2 video. Just like that for today. Annyeong!